Hi everyone, it's Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. My name is Artem and here is the news. 410 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Yesterday, Ukrainians of Western Christian tradition, along with the Western world, celebrated Easter. Happy Easter, dear listeners! President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky wished that sincere prayers for peace of all who celebrate Easter be heard. Orthodox Easter is celebrated next weekend. It is expected that Metropolitan Epiphanius of the independent from Moscow Orthodox Church of Ukraine will hold an Easter service at the Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra, reports Suspilne. Volodymyr Zelensky in his evening video address informed that on Orthodox Palm Sunday the Russian army shelled Zaporizhzhia with S-300 missiles. They hit a house with 3 people inside, a man, a woman and a child, a 10-year-old girl. The girl and the man died. The woman is in critical condition in the hospital. This is how the terrorist state spends this Palm Sunday. This is how Russia puts itself in even greater isolation from the world, from humanity, stressed Zelensky. CNN informed that Ukraine has already changed some of its military plans due to the leak of classified US documents, reports Ukrainska Pravda. According to CNN, secret Pentagon documents posted online in recent weeks show how the United States spies on both allies and adversaries, which has deeply concerned American officials who fear that the revelations could jeopardize sensitive sources and compromise important international relations. Some of the original documents expose the extent of US wiretapping of key allies, including South Korea, Israel, and Ukraine. Others revealed the extent of US penetration of the Russian Defense Ministry and the Russian private military company Wagner, largely through intercepted communications and human sources that could now be cut off or jeopardized. Others expose key weaknesses in Ukrainian weapons, air defense, battalion strengths and readiness at a critical point in the war when Ukrainian forces are preparing to launch a counteroffensive against the Russians. And just as the United States and Ukraine have begun to develop a more trusting intelligence-sharing relationship, Ukraine has already changed some of its military plans because of the leak, a source close to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told CNN. French President Emmanuel Macron has admitted that regarding the Russo-Ukrainian war, the time is military now and not for negotiations, reports European Pravda. In an interview with the French newspaper L'Echo during his visit to China, Macron said that China is coming to the same conclusion. The French president added that the objective of his dialogue with China is to consolidate several approaches to the war. Firstly, support for the principles of the UN Charter. Secondly, a clear reminder about nuclear power, and it is for China to draw conclusions from the consequences of the fact that President Putin deployed nuclear weapons in Belarus a few days after he undertook not to do so. Thirdly, a very clear reminder about human rights and the protection of children. And fourthly, commitment to negotiable and lasting peace. Macron stressed that there can be no European security architecture while there are invaded countries in Europe or frozen conflicts. The Highlights from Ukraine podcast is a commercial initiative of just 2 people, and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.